At the beginning of this Holy Week, I received a phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning. I didn't hear it. It was on my answer machine when I woke up. So I rang the lady back, a total stranger, and she just said, during this crisis, this COVID-19 crisis, she said, I began to question my faith. And she said, and now I would just like to say, I've rediscovered my faith. Well, congratulations, I said. Why did you lose it in the first place? In many ways, it was a really wonderful experience listening to this lady. She wasn't a crank. She'd just wanted to explain that in her reasoning, she had come to an understanding of things that she'd given up. I think we're all like that in some ways. I mean, I'm just glad she didn't have a lot of questions, because I'm very good at not knowing the answers to difficult questions. And we all have questions. Or is it just doubts? We all want to know answers. It depends who you ask, really. I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not even a theologian. And I don't know the answers. And sometimes you expect people come to me wanting to know why not. I firmly believe that faith is how you respond to difficult situations, not having answers for them. It's a response, like this lady, where she rediscovered something within herself, which was God's gift. A few years ago, I had a very personal experience when I lost my hearing. It was over a gradual process. And I'd noticed how annoyed with me many of my friends were, and particularly family, at saying to me, "Are you deaf? I already asked you that before." And I'm thinking, well, I never really heard you. They were angry, and I didn't know why. I went to meetings. When people changed the conversation, I didn't know what they were asking. So I went to an audiologist, and he gave me a load of waffle. He said to me, "Oh, it's something like water in the ear." So being a Scouser, I said to him, well, would a tap on the head be any good? I made a joke of it. That's the only way I could cope. I then went to another specialist a few years later, having replaced hearing aid after hearing aid. And he said to me, he said, "I think the answer to your question is that you've had a virus. And this virus has flattened it." He said, "You hear with your brain or with your ears, and you're just not receiving the messages." I was relieved at that. And I said, "Well, what's the answer to a virus?" He said, "It's got a life of its own." He said, "I don't know where you caught it or how you got it, but that's the result." And my hearing's never come back. But at the same time, during this crisis, when people say it's the cause of a virus, I now realise that it's how we deal with it, which is the answer. I'd just like to finish with a short quote from the readings for Wednesday of Holy Week. It's a beautiful reading from the Ephesians. And for people of faith, it just says, "Be kind and tender to one another. Each of you generous to all, as God in Christ has been generous to you. As God's favourite children, you must be like him. Order your lives in charity, upon the model of the charity which Christ showed us when he gave himself."